The Louisiana Farm Bureau Convention always attracts many volunteer farm leaders who represent rural parts of our state. But this year it seemed everyone from Senator David Vitter to Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal spoke to the more than 1,200 Farm Bureau members on hand for the annual meeting. This week in Louisiana Agriculture's Avery Davidson is standing by with Louisiana Farm Bureau President Ronnie Anderson to tell us more about what was on the minds of many of the farmers and ranchers from across the state. Avery?
Thanks, Mike. This is going to be an annual convention to remember the 87th year. Joining me now is Farm Bureau President Ronnie Anderson. And Ronnie, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever seen that many elected officials in one spot in a non-election year.
That's true, and that really says a lot for the organization. Not for me, but for the organization. There's a lot of interest in Farm Bureau because they know we have the grassroots network that's out there. We work for candidates, we support candidates, we vote, and Farm Bureau is really involved and interested in not only their local elections, because we had a couple of congressmen that were here to represent districts, but we had several statewide elected officials that were here, and it says a lot for our Farm Bureau organization that they showed that much interest in what we do.
Most notably Governor Bobby Jindal and Lieutenant Governor Mitch Landrieu, as well as Senator David Vitter, he brought up a lot of issues that were important to the farmers here at this convention. We heard from him just a little while ago, but tell me about some of the big issues that were discussed here.
Well, we always deal with local issues, with things that affect the parishes, then we move up to issues that affect the state. We look at water issues, we look at funding issues, we look at what's going on with the different industries around, what limitations are going to be put on us as far as being able to bring in. We talked about the cold storage facility down here in New Orleans that has to be moved to be able to freeze and process and ship out all the poultry that's produced. We've talked about the new grain facility in Lake Charles. A lot of different things there. We talked about the port in Baton Rouge and how our involvement there and some ideas that we have for changing that. Then we move up to the national level, and we've got national and international affairs committees that look at taxation. We look at clean air, clean water. We've heard a report on cap and trade. The House passed that in Washington this past Friday night late, and we're in the process now of contacting our senators to make sure that they vote against this, and hopefully we'll be able to stop it in the Senate, because there are a lot of adverse things that are going to come out of this. We talked about trade issues, we're talking about trade agreements, we talk about different things that are going to affect us in the ways that, as far as cost of production, being able to move our products, market our products, ship our products, all of those different things. And then on top of that, we're involved with youth activities here. Ag in the Classroom is a great program with our teachers, our women's activities that they have on all the promotional lines and moving stuff and doing things to promote and do good things with McDonald House and all that sort of stuff. But it's just a whole gamut of things that we do at this convention. And to me, this was a very successful convention. We covered the issues, we talked about the issues, we had great participation, had a great turnout this year, and all in all, I think it was very successful.
Talking about those committees, the Ag in the Classroom, the International Affairs Committees, that all takes volunteers, people who give of their time. Obviously, that's what keeps this organization going strong.
And that's it. It's not, we've got a great staff, which you're part of, and but we do have a great staff, and comparing to the other state farm bureaus around the country, I think we're right at the top of that list. But to get things accomplished, we have to have volunteer leadership. We have to have the parishes being involved, the districts being involved. We have to have committee leaders, committee chairmen. We have to have all of these people, a whole network of folks that bring that grassroots contact to the elected officials, to the people that are making the regulations, and back to the voters that are out there in the parishes.
Thank you very much, President Ronnie Anderson. He is the head of the Louisiana Farm Bureau.